Welcome along, guys. It's track guide number 5, Barcelona this week. But yeah, before we get into it, if you like the video, new to the channel, if you could subscribe, hit the thumbs up, or leave a comment down below what you might want to see in a future video. But yeah, anyway, guys, let's get into this. So coming down the main straight, hopefully you've tried to get a good exit off the last corner to try and get the maximum speed down here. You want to be looking for the 100 board. So there it is with a line. You want to be braking probably about a car's length before that. We'll have a look at the outside view. Yep, so about a car's length before the 100 board. You want to be just about still on the track, as you can see. Obviously, if you go too far across to the left, you will invalidate the lap already. So yeah, coming down to second. Bentley's a good car for this. You can ride the curb quite well in the Bentley. Other cars unsettle, so you have to be careful, maybe take a different line in. But yeah, in the Bentley it just eats the curb, so it's not a massive issue. So again, yeah, riding this curb, so you can take quite a bit of it. It does unsettle the car slightly, but yeah, it is controllable. Then you want to pull out slightly to the left here to open up the corner. Just letting it go with the throttle slightly until you're satisfied that the car won't run wide out on the exit, and then obviously, yeah, full throttle, let the car drift out. So it says while in, obviously with your foot buried to the floor. It says you can run out wider than what I have done with this, but again, just be mindful of track limits and dirtying the lap. So we'll see the full speed, bringing it down to second, taking the curb on the left, accelerating, then just letting go of the throttle. You're not actually braking, you're just letting go of the throttle slightly, and then getting on when you're confident that the car won't go too far out to the left and invalidate the lap. By coming up here, you want to be braking again before the line, before the bridge. You're probably looking possibly a car length again. Let's have a look on the outside view and we'll get a good gauge of where it is. So yeah, about just a car length, maybe slightly less. Obviously you don't want to sort of overshoot this because it can be quite a difficult corner. So then coming down, you're braking, you're starting to turn in early, down to second. Don't want to touch the curb on the inside with fear of the car sort of rotating too much to the right and then going onto the grass, because you'll pretty much hit the wall. So just slightly staying off the curb, letting the car rotate. You're already on full throttle by now, and yeah, letting the car come out slightly but not too much. Wouldn't let the car drift all the way to the left, because then you're compromising yourself for the next corner. So again, at speed, bringing it round, you're on the full throttle and sort of keeping to the right as best you can. So coming up to this one, this is quite difficult. You can just about see the rubber on the curb. That's usually my sort of braking point, or just before that. Again, on the outside view, you'll probably see it's going to be about a car length again, or car and a half. Obviously, it's difficult with this one if the rubber isn't down on the track. So I think this is going to just be sort of repetition. You'll find a place to brake and then you'll just repeat that lap after lap. So coming into the slow-mo again, slowing down obviously just before the tyre rubber on the curb, dropping it down to second. Some people drop it down to first to get the car to turn in. I find that I can get the car to turn in on second if you get the speed scrubbed off enough. Again, you don't want to touch too much curb on the apex on the left, because it will sort of drag you onto the curb and the grass. And yeah, let the car just drift out slightly wide onto this curb, and then yeah, try and get the car as straight as possible, as quick as possible, and then yeah, back on the gas. So out we come down to this, obviously full throttle. You're looking here for the start of the curb, the white part, not the white and red part, the painted part. So you're literally next to no sort of gap between the car and the start of that curb. This can be a tricky one. Don't tend to like this. You need to have the car set up well. You need to have the tyres in the optimum temperature range to get as much grip as possible, because yeah, this can rotate the car in the way you don't want it to, that yeah, you won't make the straight part of the corner, basically, if it makes sense. So you're clipping the inside curb, not too much, even in the Bentley, and then yeah, you want to clip this as well, but again not too much, because you will invalidate the lap. And if you get on that slight sausage, it does unsettle the car, and I've had the car turn and then completely turn to the left and just put me onto the grass and into the barrier. So yeah, difficult one, it really is difficult. So that's how it's supposed to be done. So yeah, coming up to this one, you want to be braking again just before the end of the curb. Sometimes with this one I change up to fourth to then change down to third, and it seems to just, yeah, slightly brake better. But if not, you can stay in third. It's not a massive difference. So, but we stay in third. Sort of a dab of the brake, not hard on the brake, a dab of the brake, just to get the car in. Don't want to ride too much of this curb, because yeah, it will unsettle the car, and it sends the car in all weird directions. You can run out slightly wide on this curb. Again, you don't want to run out too far. Obviously, it will slow you down if you hit the gravel. It'll also invalidate the lap. So just be mindful of that. I think once you get the corner correctly, you'll feel the sort of, yeah, the smooth movement around there. This one's a difficult corner as well. Obviously, where the sun position is, you can pretty much go off the first sort of tree shadow, about a car length before. Obviously, it's difficult when there isn't the sun, or it's a cloudy day, so you've got to judge yourself. But it's there or thereabouts a car and a half length to the 100 board, and again, depending on your setup, how you've got your tyres, the grip level, to which you determine if you can sort of brake a little bit later towards the 100. But yeah, coming down to second, you want to be turning in. You don't want to clip too much of the curb on the inside, and especially the green, because it will unsettle the car. And I've had, again, the car just completely rotate around to the left. So let the car drift out a little bit. Again, don't want to take too much, don't want to hit that yellow sausage or go over it or past it, because you will get a dirty lap. So that's yeah, a nice way to take it. Cut that corner on the left slightly, the curb. This one again is difficult, because there's no real way to tell where to brake. Possibly maybe before the green on the right, just before that, you could take that as a marker. But again, this one's probably sort of memory again, or just, yeah, sort of muscle memory of doing lap after lap after lap on the track, and you'll get you sort of used to where to brake for this corner. So coming in and say, yeah, just before the green on the right, so we're braking round. Again, you want to stay off the curb as best as possible. You don't want to be, yeah, riding that curb again, because it will just it'll rotate the car around completely to the right. So just slightly taking it, then letting the car drift out. I'm not actually on full throttle yet. Now I'm on full throttle, letting the car drift out so it doesn't drift out too much. So obviously, yeah, you'll hit the gravel and it will slow you down, possibly invalidate your lap. So bringing it round, it says not on full throttle. Now we're on full throttle, letting it come out. So braking for this one again, it's a slightly difficult one. The outside view should show us pretty much a marker. It could possibly be there's an orange, I think, on the barrier. So yeah, it's a couple of cars past that. So again, I think it's muscle memory again, your memory of where you've been braking. So it's a difficult one. There's no braking boards either. So coming up, braking, like I said, you're going to have to determine where to brake yourself. After a couple of laps, you'll know. Definitely don't ride the sausage on the inside curb, because it will throw you out to the left too much. So bringing the car around, you're accelerating now, hard on the accelerator. You want to brake then just under here, under the board, and you want to change it down to first. Turning in, just slightly braking, still trying to keep as much speed as you can, but obviously not too much. Bringing it out slightly to the left, then turning it sharply back into the right to then make the second apex, and then on the throttle as early as possible without going wide. Definitely don't want to go over the other side of that yellow sausage, because it will invalidate your lap. By now you're hard on the throttle and accelerating. So watch it at speed. So braking under the board, turning in, then turning in again as quick as you can, accelerate, and then you should have no issues getting around this final corner flat out. Don't let it run too wide, and there you go, guys.